Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is not just any regular old vlog. Today, I am bringing you along for moments in Elizabeth Joy's first week of life. Now, newborn life, there's a lot of chilling going on, a lot of getting used to having a newborn, becoming like a milk maker again. So I'm bringing you along as I get back into the rhythm of not only newborn life, but also post-pregnancy life, postpartum, not being sick anymore, being able to eat and cook a little bit. It's just the best feeling ever. So yeah, let's hop right into my postpartum newborn vlog with Lil Lizzie J. I've actually been more active this postpartum than I was with Logan because, I don't know, my healing felt a little more dramatic. Now, maybe that's because I felt so sick in pregnancy. The difference is stark. But also, I think it's because I'm in a small one-story house. So there's not, I don't have to go that far to get to the kitchen. It's on the other side of the wall next to my bedroom. So that's been nice. And I've pretty much just been focusing on getting in the milk production and breastfeeding groove. I am pretty sure that my breastfeeding journey is going to be similar to last time in the sense that I'm going to be a pumping mom. Now, I'm hoping I can actually do both because I do think that breastfeeding is a little superior to pumping because there are studies that show that when baby gets her lips to your boobs, that the saliva actually makes the milk become like a custom order for that baby. So I like the thought of that, and I'm hoping we can do both. And she does seem to be latching much better than Logan latched. Now, it could just be because I'm a second-time mom, I have more experience this time. Could be because she's a different baby. But either way, a lot of my time has just been spent lounging, doing laundry, eating, of course, feeding baby, folding diapers, and just hanging low during this recovery season. I've had a lot of questions from people around how Logan has been handling baby Lizzie. And I just want to say, she just got here, so it does feel like a little bit of a premature question, but he is so stoked. Honestly, he has shown nothing but excitement and love for Lizzie. He loves helping feed her when we do have milk in a bottle. He loves helping pick the diapers to use for her. He gets very specific about what colors he wants to use on her, put the red diaper on her. Now, I will say on that note, we are on the hunt for new cloth diapers. So if you guys have any recommendations, I got a bunch of recommendations on Instagram. I don't know, maybe I don't even need any more recs, but feel free to give them because I really like doing cloth diapers, and these ones are not going to last very long. We don't properly wash our cloth diapers. We just do them in the washing machine in the dryer. We don't do all the special care. So they take a beating a little faster. They still are worth it to us, even washing them quote unquote improperly. So they take a beating. They still were able to be used for years on Logan, and they're still able to be used right now on baby. But I know as she gets a little bigger, they're not going to do as good of a job holding in moisture because they already aren't. So any recommendations you have would be great. But to those of you that haven't heard me talk about this or seen my videos with Logan when he was a baby, we love cloth diapering. We like that. We just think it's more comfortable probably for baby. I like that there's no the crunchy paper, the disposable stuff. I don't love that. So there's obviously been a lot of downtime and chill time while I've been in this newborn phase. And this first week of Lizzie being here, I think it was the first week, I saw a video from Milena Ciciotti, I think that's how you say her name, and she was talking about postpartum just this time, which I highly recommend checking out that video. I think it's called Dear Postpartum Mama. And one of the things that she talked about in that video was taking the time when you're nursing, or in my mind, just doing these low-key newborn activities, taking that time to pray for your baby. And maybe this sounds weird. I feel like it actually does sound weird. But until I saw that video and I saw her saying that, it occurred to me that I hadn't been actively praying for Lizzie since she arrived. Definitely felt like a novice Christian mom move too, because I mentioned that to my mom, and my mom goes, "Oh yeah, I've been praying for Lizzie when I pray for Logan every day. I pray for their future, for their spouses, for their hearts, that they will feel the Lord's presence and get to know him." And I just was like, oh man, okay, so time to step up my mom game. So that's just kind of random, but I wanted to throw that out there. I was hungry and I decided to actually pull this frozen chipotle corn chowder out of the freezer. Now, funny enough, I actually made this last August from local corn, from like local farm stands, and it's out of Half Baked Harvest's cookbook. That was kind of a tongue twister to say Half Baked Harvest's cookbook. So I had that heating up, and then also I've been keeping on the stovetop kind of nonstop a brew of lactation and postpartum tea brewing. And I have this little teapot that my dad gave me that's so cute a few months ago. And this tea is actually a brand that my midwife started. And the teas are just so lovely. They're very different flavors than I would normally drink just like for pleasure. But I swear these teas make me feel amazing. And actually, as I'm saying this, I like kind of want to go brew some right now. So good. I will link her tea company down below, by the way, if you want to check it out. I also decided to have a banana. We've been a part of a meal train. Thank you, Lord. It's been such a blessing. And one of my friends that brought us over some delicious soup also dropped off a bunch of fruit, and bananas were part of that fruit mixture. So I had a banana. Then it was time to make my bed. I find myself making my bed still every day, but usually not until the afternoon, because the first part of the day, everything is kind of a mess. I'm getting going with breastfeeding, just kind of picking things up. And yeah. This corn chowder was so good, by the way. I'm consistently in awe at how well food stays in the freezer, particularly soups. I feel like that's very obvious, but yeah, it was so good. I feel like you're just gonna see snacks on snacks. So I had half of a bagel at this point, and I also took some vitamins because I'm finally able to like supplement it up now that I'm not getting sick. And at this point, it was also time to do some more laundry. I feel like that really is such a huge part of postpartum life, just like endless laundry, even if you're not doing cloth diapers, right? Because you're dealing with just milk everywhere and poop and pee potentially being a thing, blowouts, all of that. So, and this definitely, by the way, I'm realizing was another day this week. And Logan was just hanging out with me while I did laundry, hung out with Lizzie, and he was reading his book. He does not read yet, by the way, for those that are asking, but he kind of does. He can sound out very simple words. He's been learning his phonics, which helps him to sound out words. So he hung out and read, and I did laundry. By the way, we recently switched to a linen duvet, and I just want to throw out there a linen duvet cover that we love it. I can talk about that more in the future if you want. One thing that I was not able to eat as much of in my pregnancy, but now I'm back to eating a ton of again, are eggs from our chickens. So I had made some eggs on this morning. Maybe it was like late morning, like a brunch situation. And then I had a little bit of this drink that we had left over from the night before when a friend brought us burrito tacos and refried beans and this drink, which I don't even know what it is, but it's like an electrolyte filled, fruity, juicy goodness that she made from scratch for us. And it was so good. And I'm actually going to have to ask her for the recipe because, like I said 3 times now, it was so good. And as you can see, I had a piece of sourdough toast with lots of butter on it. And then on the side, I pulled out my tub of homemade hummus because I decided I wanted to also dip the toast into the hummus. And then afterwards, I had a little bit of this cherry nice cream that my mom had made with like cacao powder and cherries. And it was delicious. Can I just say it also feels good to just be like up and doing things? Even if it's cleaning, it just feels good to not feel so sick. Like I'm definitely recovering from postpartum, but I just have to say again how good it feels to not be sick. Now for dinner on this night, I decided to pull out this chicken and potato stew that a friend had brought us for our meal train once again, as well as these chocolate chip cookie bars that I pulled out of the freezer that another friend had brought us. And I just heated it back up in the pot. Side note, another friend gave me this green zucchini start, so that's exciting. And then Dan came home with a couple of bags of groceries, which that's something I so look forward to being able to do again, to go grocery shopping once I get kind of out and about a little more. But he brought us home a few goodies, lots of oranges, of course, some chocolate. This caramel and sea salt chocolate is absolutely delicious. He also brought some salad and a couple of snacks home. And when I made the stew, as you can see, I pulled out the potatoes first and I actually mashed them. This was at my mom's suggestion. I put a little bit of butter and salt on top, and then I poured in the broth and the chicken pieces, and it was so good. And once again, I'm just so grateful for all the food that friends have been bringing us in this postpartum season. And of course, I had to have an orange on the side because I just had to, you know? So then I bagged up the rest of the chicken and stew in a freezer bag because we had had it a couple of nights in a row and I knew we wanted to wait and press pause on it for a minute. I just am so grateful for the freezer on that note. So I was starting to crave some beef, and so I decided to make this chili. This chili recipe is, I think it's the best chili recipe I've ever tried. And it's basically like the starter point was a chili recipe from Downshiftology. And I took that recipe and then I changed it a bit by adding like a lot more vegetables, different types. Also just in the amount, like a lot more. But then I also ended up adding in some kielbasa, some beef kielbasa, and that totally changed it. I also make my chilies a lot soupier, and it's just so good. Like Dan, I'm really into chili. Dan's like so about chili. He agreed. He's like, dude, this is the best chili you've ever made. And we both just devoured it. And making this batch ended up giving us like 3 dinners worth of food. I started off by frying up a few pieces of bacon. And then once the bacon was crispy, I pulled the bacon out and then used the bacon grease to stir fry all of these vegetables. I believe I had carrots, celery, bell peppers, corn, onion, garlic. I think that was it. And once all of that got completely stir fried and cooked down a little bit, then it was time to add in the ground beef. And so I added in the ground beef and cooked that up as well. Now, once the ground beef was cooked through thoroughly, I added in quite a bit of tomato paste, actually quite a bit more than she even called for. And then I added in all of the spices, stirred that up, let that cook. At that point, I added in these canned tomatoes, and they are fire roasted canned tomatoes, as well as 2 cans of these mixed beans that I have from Costco. And then last but not least, I added in a bunch of beef bone broth. I love chili. I love chili in general, but like I said, this recipe, so good. And then last but not least, at the end, I added in my diced kielbasa, and then I let it simmer for about a half hour until we ate it. We ate it with, shredded cheese, a little bit of sour cream. I added some avocado, just so good. So yeah, guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you liked hanging out with us for this freshly postpartum newborn phase. If you're struggling right now, just know that I'm praying for you guys. Keep swimming, and I will, God willing, see you guys back here soon with another new video. Bye.